Hi everyone, and welcome to our Word course. This is going to tell you hints, tips, tricks, and it's going to give you some idea how to use the software. It's Word Basic, so it is only at a very beginner level. But what it does, what I'm going to give, is to make sure that you understand where you're going through, what's happening. So you can see that we've got the blank screen and a blank document on at the moment. And I'm just going to run through the ribbons and everything else. I think it's important that you understand the screen. That way, when you're using it in the future, you'll know exactly where to go. And it's a start. The other real big benefit to it is that once you learn one of the applications, say Word, then most of the ribbons are the same. Most of the icons on the ribbon are the same. So that's brilliant for you. So I'm going to start up at the top. So we've got our title bar here. You can see over on the left hand side we've got autosave. That at the moment is off, and that is because the way I've got it set up. If you use an Office 365, you can have it to autosave, and that will show on, and every time you go into a document then it will save, and you do get the different versions in it, which is good, so you don't lose anything. You'll notice on the top of here we have got the save icon, and then next to the save icon, you can't see it at the moment because it's greyed out, we've got the undo and redo, those two buttons. There's a printer here, and there's also a little symbol, so you can put your symbols in, different ones, and a search bar. And just over on the towards the right, you've got a drop down. So this is your quick access toolbar. Great little thing, because it really helps you to have on screen what you use all the time. So you can see the ones that are ticked are the ones that are on the actual toolbar, and you can change them to meet your needs or go in and even find some more. As we come across on the title bar, going over towards the right, you can see we've got document 6. That's the number of documents I've opened. It usually starts off at 1 and increments on that. Tells you it's Word. You've got a search bar there if you wanted to search within the application. It tells you who's using the software, so it's Linda Boydman at the moment. And then we move over towards the right, we've got our minimize, maximize and close. So that's really the title bar, and that's the standard for all of the software that we're using. Then we come down to the menus. Many years ago now, what Microsoft did is they customized everything because they wanted to help people to learn. They wanted people to go in and use all their applications and make it easier. And so the transition between each of the applications was much simpler. So you've got your file, you've got your home, insert, drawer, design, references, mailings, review, view, developers one I've added on, so you shouldn't have that one, and help. So they're most of the standard ones that are on there. So which is great. And then the ribbon here, they changed the name of the ribbon. They are all related to the menu that you're on. So you can see at the moment we're on home, and as I move over onto insert, you can see that ribbon changes. So it makes it very intuitive of what you're doing. So if you want to insert, whether it's a picture, a shape, whether it's word art, anything that you want to put on, then you can do that. You can also draw things, so you can see how it's changing, so you get the picture of it. The design, they're all your styles that we can use. Layout and references, that's when we're going into putting references into documents. So if you're doing something like a dissertation, you could use all that. You want to do mailing, mail merge, great thing to actually go through and use. Not use very much, but you can use, I think what people forget is that you can use mailings, you can get your information from Excel and put it into a document. So it really customises it, makes it special for that customer. You're using the first name rather than just a general title. You can review what you've done, view and move on. So you can see there's all different things. So we've got our layout. So that's how the document is going to look. So whether the orientation is portrait or landscape, the size of the document, whether we're using columns. I think on this one, breaks, a lot of people, and I know over the years people have said to me, it's the breaks that I don't understand within Word. And it can be difficult putting the breaks in, but it's just a matter again of getting used to it. Keep it simple, and you'll be fine with it. Then we come into the indent, and that's really linked, and I'll show you that in an actual document when we come to that one, where we can see the ruler. I'm pointing now to the ruler bar just along here, and you can see that each of that ruler bar is marked off in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, going to 7 in the grey area. So we can indent, and the indents are set about every half inch. I'm going to have to work in inches, unfortunately, for you. So they're set in there, so which is good. So you can just press the tab key on your keyboard and that will go in. So that's all about indentation, your spacing, whether you want spacing, double spacing, single spacing, before and after the document, and everything else, and the panes and the alignment. So they're the main things that we're going on. So I'm going to go back onto home now, because this is the one that you will be using the most. So I'm going to just run through that first to get you familiar with this part. So we've got file as well, but in this home one we can see that we've got cut, copy and paste, all are greyed out because we've done nothing. We're in a blank document, remember. And we've got our little format painter, very much underutilised, and it's a great one to actually go through and do. Again, it goes across all of the applications, so good to use. And here again, this one, the clipboard, and see, as I click onto the little square in that bottom right hand corner of clipboard, you can see then all the things that I've copied. So at one point you used to just be able to copy one thing. Now it copies quite a lot, so you've got a lot more for it there. So as we move on to font, so this is all about, so we're looking at this part, so we're looking at how we would edit a document and make sure that it's looking good, make sure that the font is how we want to. You might have a font that the company that you work for uses all the time, so it's important that you get that brand going through all the documents that you produce. You can have your bold, italic and underline, and you can put them on. One of the things of using Word or any of the Microsoft applications is using the shortcut keys, and they really do help you to actually do. So you can see here, moving on, still on font, you've got your increase font size or decrease. You can rub out information, you can put a highlighter on it, you can change the text colour. Then you move on to the paragraph. This is a little good one. I call this one here, you see, this is show and hide, backwards P is how I always referred to it. And that will show you when somebody has put a space in, where they've put a return in, or a soft return, a hard return, a soft return. Most people perhaps don't know what a soft return is. So that's where the text will wrap around, but it's not a new paragraph. And that again would change how the document looked. And again, I'll show you that as we go through. Then we come on to our styles. Styles are a great one. You can set up your own styles. I tend to use the ones that are in here at this time. So you've got heading 1, 2 and 3. The beauty of using styles is that if you go on to do a table of contents, the fact that you've used styles in there with those headings 1, 2 and so on, then you can produce a table of contents within seconds, and that's what you want to learn. We're doing this webinar today, and what we're doing it for is to show you how you can use it to the best advantage of it, how you can get the best out of it. Most people learn something. Once they've learned it, that's how they work on it. They don't do anything else because they've learned it, and then it takes time. Then they haven't got that time, and really taking the time out and doing a course would make a big difference to them. So it's always important to go through and do that. So that's all around the styles, and then we go on to our find and replace. Again, this is something that people tend not to use. You might have a document that's 100 pages, and you're looking for a word, you want to change Liverpool to Leeds or vice versa. So you could find all occurrences of Liverpool and replace it with Leeds, and that will do it in seconds. I remember many years ago a guy coming on my course, and he said he'd taken, I think it was a day or more, to go through and change some words within a document, and it was a massive document at the time. And he said he couldn't believe it when he saw this, and it wasn't in the same format it is now. It was an earlier version. He just said that was just amazing, absolutely amazing. The next one as we move along is dictate. So that one, I love this one. It's a little bit difficult to get used to, but it is good because what it does, it allows you to talk to the machine. It does mean that you've got to sort of it's got to get used to your how you pronounce things, but overall it works well. Sensitivity we tend not to use, but it can be there. It's just how much you can label the content. The editor, this is really, you can say I've got edit on there. You might have that, but you might also have ABC. It's hard with your mother's teeth in. Your spelling and grammar. So those two are linked. The editor gives you the readability of the document that you've got, how well the grammar is, any mistakes you've got in there. It will automatically just a spelling check for you. They're really good tools. Many years ago you had to really go on and change it and do a spell check. It's all integrated now, so you don't really need to do so much on that. And then reuse files. So this one, again, if you click on that one, just show you this one, because it just knows what it works when you're in a blank document, and you can see different files that I've got open. I can bring them into the document and take the text out of it and reuse it. Again, that goes to other applications you can use, like PowerPoint. That's a great one to use. Again, what we don't want to do is reinvent the wheel. Okay, I can close any of these windows down as you want. So I've got my blank document there now. So I'm going to go and open up. I wanted to open up a new file. As it takes it in, it tells me these are all the templates that I've got there. So again, you should be looking to use these. The whole thing of having this is to stop you having to repeat things over and over again. And nowadays we've got even more collaborations. That's better. So we've got home. So in here you can see these templates. You can see documents below that I've opened up, and you can even pin documents that you want to find easily. You can see if I click on the pinned, you can see the documents that are pinned up there for me. So you've got recent, pinned, and any that have been shared with me as well. So again, great. New document, that will take into a blank document, and that is just a blank document, and it will, I'll say, increment the word. And if you open a document, then it's going to go up and find a document that you've previously saved. Yeah, and we've got the list down there. Then when we go, once we've opened a document or created a new document, we've got the chance to either save or save as. For those who don't know the difference between, remember, save is when you haven't previously saved a document. You save it and you will give it a name. If you open a previously saved document, then and you make changes and you want to keep the original, you must use save as. That's the difference between the two of them. We've got the print in there, share, so you can share it online, or you can share it in as a document in an email, and you can transform. You can even transform so it goes on the web, or close the document. So I'm going to go back on that one. Now I've got documents open. I'm going to use on my status bar at the bottom on here, and I'm going to open a document called drinks. Let's open that one. So we've got drinks one, and I've got all these listed, opened. I could open a garden one. Headers and footers I've got open. Styles, formats. Let's have a look at format. This is a great little document to actually go through and use, because it does really a range of different things that we've got on there. So this is a document that's been produced for us. It's only a one page, and how do I know it's a one page? Because if you look at the bottom of your screen, You've got, it tells you how many pages it's got, so page 1 of 1 in this case. It tells you how many words you've got within the document. Great again if you've got some college work, or you've got a report, or you're doing a tender. If you're doing a tender, you've got to know how many words you're using. They do not allow you to go over a certain amount of words. So great one to use. And you can select, and if you select some range of letters, words, it will actually tell you how many you've actually got in that detail as well. So really good to actually go through and use. So now that we've got this document here, we're talking about how do we edit a document and add to it and formatting it. But the basics first. So I said about this ruler bar on the top there. So remember, you've got a little left indent, and that's split into two parts, a first line indent or a left indent. And what that means, as we look over, can you see where my cursor is? As we look over into the margin, we have got the cursor's flashing, and if I press the tab key, then it's changed. So that first line is changed. Now can you just look at the ruler bar? Can you see that the first line indent has moved over, and that's around about 1/2 inch, and back to the margin. And that's a click on that. Can you see how it aligns down the left hand side, the left margin of the document? Okay, so I can actually do that, and if I want to take it out, I can backspace from where I am, and it just literally takes it back and puts it back. So using these, lots of people are unsure about the alignment. The alignment on the right hand side, you see it gives you a right indent, and if I click and hold on that, it'll show you where the margin is, and the margin are set up in the default settings of Word, and that's for a different course. We're just doing the basic and an overview on this webinar today. So we've got word processors. Can you also see now that my mouse pointer has gone into a slightly different shape? It has gone to a pointer, and it's going in for a shape like that. And what that means, if I point and click at some text, one click will select all of that row. If I move down and double click, you'll notice that now all that paragraph, and if I point and click where we are now and do 3, it will do the whole document. So just by pointing, one click will do a line, 2 clicks a paragraph, and 3 will do the whole document. If I can get my clicks going, it will do it. Just having a little there, I'm just too fast on it. The other way of doing that as well is you've got Control A, will also select the whole document. Again, that goes across all the applications. Great one to use if I wanted to change all of the font for the whole document. Select the whole of the document, and then just go onto the font and change it, and it's done. Everything's done. So good one to actually go. Don't like it? Go up onto the title bar, undo the formatting. Yeah, and it's back to normal, or back to how it was, whatever. So again, that's a great one to go through and use. So that's your selecting. You can click and hold, drag. So I'm literally holding the mouse and going on. So various ways. You can also, another way, sometimes when you're using selection, it can run away with you. One way to do is that click where you wanted to start, click and hold your shift key, and then use your down cursors so you can move. So it gives you a little bit more control. Yeah, good if you've got a document that goes over a number of pages sometimes, but you can also start. I might want to click into that part away again, hold my shift key, and just use the arrows on the keyboard. So different ways you can actually go through and do. So we want to say put some formatting on this document. It's a nice document to format, so I'll select, and I'm thinking, right, okay, I want that heading to be something nice, so I might use heading 1. Notice how sensitive it is. I only moved over and it's already taken it. Let's put the heading 1 in. Yeah, so I can click on that to accept it. But better still than doing one by one, what if I select a heading, hold down my control key, and then go through the document and select every other heading that I wanted. So as long as you're holding down that control key, I've let go now because I'm using the mouse roller to move up and down. So I've done that. Now I could press a function key to do that, but I'm going to go back on the heading one and apply the heading one. So notice how where we've got the word spreadsheet, where I've selected, you can see it's different, the space above and space below. So that tells you. And there's also this little marker here. So that's telling you that this is style applied to this. And applying the styles, as I said before, if you're using styles, it's really good because it enables you to do a table of contents very quickly. Okay, so I'm going to click away from that. So I've deselected, but now I've created those styles. So having put some formatting on the document, then I might say, well, oh God, I'm not quite sure that I want all this text to be, I want it maybe slightly different. Yeah. So I'm thinking, right, okay, I might want that to be larger. So I'm going to go up onto the ribbon and with the A and press that, and you can see that it's increasing. And because it's increased, it's increased and it's wrapped it around to a different the next page. So we've gone into 2 pages now. But it decreased it, it's gone over. So okay, I quite like that. Oh, actually, I wanted that word to be bold. So there is a shortcut, Control and B. Now notice I didn't have that word selected. So the way that Word works, if you've got a document, you're in the Word and you use Control and B, Control and U for underline, Control and I, it will just do all of it. You don't need it selected. Yeah, the only time you need it selected if you're doing more than one word. So now I'd have to do either go on to the B on the ribbon or not. Yeah, so see the difference in it. So when you are in a word, that's fine. You can just apply the formatting to it. So yeah, that's pretty good. But yeah, quite like that. So I'm going to use the Format Painter now because I've done it once. I don't want to do everything. And the Format Painter, what it does, it allows you to copy formatting. So notice my cursor is flashing on that word documents. So go onto the Format Painter, click onto it. Now one click, and can you see on my mouse pointer, I've now got a little brush. So click onto the word, and it's copied that formatting that I had on the Word documents into on the spreadsheet word here. So quite a good change. Notice also that I've now got 2 pages. I don't want that because it's changed it. And this is what happens in real life. We're working on a document. I don't really want to see it in 2 pages. I want to see it just a single page. So I can click on and I can have 1 page on 100%. So click onto 1 page and it's put it back. Or you can zoom. But another way to actually go through and zoom is to hold down your control key and use the mouse roller. So you can see that I can increase and decrease it very quickly. So a nice one to actually use. But we can always go into this part under the menu view. So different ways to do things. You use the way that you can remember the most. And once you get into the habit of doing that, well, it's a great thing to actually go through and do. So let's have a look at databases now. Let's see where we go in here. Do we want to make any changes in here? I might want to take out some of the words. Now remember what we're doing on this part is that we are formatting a document. We're editing it to make the changes. So I want to take out some words. So one way that you can do it is you can select all the words and press the delete key. No problem with that. Or you can hold down your control key. And if you press the control key and then keep that down and press the delete key, you can see it's deleting a word at a time. If you press the backspace, it's going from right to left. Yeah? And if you press Control and undo, which is the Z, let's see, it puts them back. Yeah? Zero shortcuts are really good. I use them all the time because it's helpful. I'm not taking my hands away. I can do it very quickly. So, think about when you're editing a document, you want to go there, you hold on, I don't want to do that. You can go and drag, and you can just press your backspace or your delete key, it doesn't matter which one's going to do it. And they're gone. And again, Control Z puts that back to how it was. So this is about making sure that you're using the document correctly. So I've got word processors. Now it might be that I really want to separate these out. So I want to make each of these paragraphs and the headings onto a separate page. So if I press Control and the Enter key, you'll see now that what it's done, it's put word processor or left word processor on a separate page. Go into databases, Control key again, press the Enter key, scroll down again onto accounting, Control and the Enter key, and now what we've got is we've got each of those paragraphs on a separate page. And how do we know they're on a separate page? How do we know I've done what's known as a hard return by using the Control and Enter? Because we go up here. This is the show and hide. And can you see? So every time I've done something in here, what Word has done is put a marker in to tell me. So this one here, this is telling me that we've got styles. This one, the backwards P, that's a hard return. Yeah. More hard returns down here, and then here we've got a page break. If I want to take that out, just click in front of that page break, press the delete, and it brings it back. And again, if I want to go up and undo it, so I have got that Control and Z, or I've got the Control and undo on the top. So that P is really good to help you understand it. And viewing all that, so we wanted to see more than one page at a time, sorry. I can go and put multiple pages in and it will show me. And obviously once you get multiple pages, you might also say, well, hold on, I really want to, I'm not sure which page is which now, which is the first page, which is my last page. So you want to then put something different. Just again, if you're using Word and you're following this along, you've got page 1 of 4 now. So it always tells you within the document, at the bottom of the page on the left hand side, one of 4. So I might go, hold on, I want to look at that slightly different. So I'm going to go back onto the insert, and what am I going to insert? I think I'm going to insert some numbers, page numbers, just so I know what's going on. So add the page numbers, depending on where you want them, top or bottom, doesn't matter. So bottom of the page is where I normally like them. You've got all your different styles there. This is a personal choice, there's no right or wrong way to any of this. Click on the accent bar because that's the one I like. And notice now what it's done. So we've got, we can see 3 of those pages in there. But notice also that we've got our header and our footer. Yeah. So the header and footer, and if we scroll down a little bit more, you'll notice they've all got there. So it's automatically opened up both the header and the footer, and we've got the page numbering in the footer. And because of that, we can also have a different first page. You can have that numbering coming just on odd or even pages. So it just depends on you. And normally what I would do in here, I might go onto perhaps put a picture in there. So insert and a picture, and depends on where you've got it. Yeah. And I'll put our logo in. So I've just double clicked on that one to make it go in. I'm doing this very quickly, remember, because what I want to do is show you some of the quick overviews that it has. Now notice that they are on the left hand side, but if I go into where it's the paragraph settings on the home menu, the ribbon bar, I can change that and click to go right align. So now you can see that they've all gone over to the right hand side, and I can size them. You notice that I get onto one of the corners, drag it up, and it will size it, and then double click and then that document is done. So very quickly I formatted the document. I put a logo in, I've changed all the headings, I've done them very quickly, I put page numbers in, and I can go, if I look onto view again, this is another one that's in view. I love this one, this is really good. So we've got here a navigation pane. Now this is good. So if you've got a big document and you go, oh darn, I've got to work through this document and jump through because I've used styles in there, notice the headings are now listed. So if I wanted to look particularly, let's put it into one page view so you can see that better. So right, okay, I want to look at what's on spreadsheets. I click it in the navigation pane on the left hand side of the screen, and it takes me into that area. It doesn't matter what the area is, this happens to just be a couple of paragraphs. I want to look at the counting, it takes it into that as well. So you can see that really does help you to navigate around that document very, very quickly. We've only got a little bit of text on here, so it's not life or death to actually go through and do that, but it could be, and it makes the difference on there. So go back to one page on there, and we can use the scroller up to the top to do. The other thing to look at, I can close that navigation down as well anytime I want to, and down in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, you haven't done, we've got a number of buttons along there. You can't see them at the moment from there, but if you go into a Word document you would be able to. We've got different modes, and we've got a read mode, and you can see how that brings it, so it makes it very easy to actually go through and read. And see, you've got your button here to move over, and the button on the other side, the direction button, so you can see each one. So it's nice to go and read that and go back to make sure you've got everything checked. You've got print layout, that's the normal formatting, yeah, that's how we normally see things. And each one of these does something different. So you know, in the readable mode, it took out any pictures, any logos or anything else that we had in there. The other one, we could have web layout, and this is because now, or for a long time actually, you could publish your document straight into the web. So that's a great one. But the normal layout that we look and use all the time is that print layout. But again, that's entirely up to you. So let's have a look at here now. So we've got this document, which is great. It's all complete. Do remember to save it, and you save it wherever you need to. If you've any questions on what we're doing today, please make sure that in the chat box you can see that my name, Linda Boyham at specialist-training.co.uk is there. Please send them to us, and we'd be only too happy to help you. We go into a lot more depth in our courses. We've got some online courses as well. All of these are going to help support you to learn more about Word and what you can do. Most of the time, you know, you're just using the same things over and over again. Let me just quickly show you some other things. We've got a couple of minutes left. Just bring up another document, which is probably easier for us. This document is just, we call this one align, because what you can do is, remember, alignment is really important, and that comes under the paragraph buttons here. So this is the moment, most documents are left aligned because the readability is much better on that one, but you can have center. Notice that I was only in that paragraph. I don't need to select it or anything else. I can do right align, or can do justify. Justify is where it puts the spaces in, so both margins are just exactly the same. Bit nicer on certain things. Maybe if you're doing some type of brochure, it looks okay, but readability wise it's not as good. Left align's much better. So you've got your center, and you've got your right align on there, so everything's coming from the right hand side and going across. So very easy to actually go through and do. See alignment buttons on there. Let's see. And then the other thing, very quickly, just before we finish, we've got this document, and again, headings. So I can pick all my headings. I'll be having a little drink of these but later on. So there's my drinks. And then if we want to have our indents or bullets, we can choose to have that, and we can move them over to whatever. We can have them going different levels, or you can have them as numbers. So you just select all your text, you can put them in numbers, you can have them in different styles. You've got all the choices. And the other thing that you can do, if you wanted to select all the document and make it double spacing, Control A and Control 2 will make everything double spacing. So you can see how very quickly I have formatted that document. It was literally in seconds. And I can undo it. And that's what's nice about it. So getting to know how to use Word correctly is a great one to actually go through and do. As I say, more information, please contact us. Specialist training, and my name is Linda Boyham, and I think all my details are on. You'll see this on YouTube very shortly. But thank you very much for attending, and I look forward to seeing